軽くてあったかいから断然ダウンコートがいいんだな。
Yeah, even at that point, that's already a bad sign.
今回は Amazon みたいな通販サイトでちょっと怖い体験をしたお話です。
Manako had a bit of a scary moment when she placed the order, but she was able to return it and get a refund. She's sharing this experience just in case it helps someone. Also, the company names, addresses, and phone numbers shown in this video are all fictional or partially modified.
ダウンコートもうそろそろ替え時だな。軽くてあったかいから断然ダウンコートがいいんだな。わ、これかわいい。こういうのもいいな。
You want something light and warm. So you're looking for a new down coat, right? Hope you find a good one.
これだ。襟が高くてマフラーいらず。ポチ。
A high collar so you don't need a scarf. That's super nice in winter. I get why that caught your eye.
あれ、出荷メール来たのに全然届かないな。年末に頼んじゃったから仕方ないかな。
Yeah, it is year end. So if it's a little late, that's kind of expected. Hey, Tommaso clothes, aren't they shipped from an overseas shop?
わ、本当だ。これ海外のお店なんだね。タマゾウ商品は国内発送されるもんだと思ってたのに。ちょっと不安だな。
So it was international shipping. If you thought Tommaso was domestic, that sudden realization would make anyone uneasy. 2 weeks later.
きたー。ちょっと待って。タマゾウ段ボールじゃないんだ。珍しいな。なんか嫌な予感するんだけど。あれ、めっちゃ重い。私買うの間違えたかな？アイくん、届いたダウンコート、タグが外国語だったから興味本位で翻訳アプリで見てみたの。詰め物、ダウンコットンってなってるの。ダウンも入ってるけど綿も入ってるよってことなのかな？こう書かれてた。
Yeah, even at that point, that's already a bad sign. That wording, you wrong mean, is very different from pure down.
生地裏地はポリエステル。中綿自体も化繊。わー、やられたわ、これ。ダウン 90% って書いてるやつ買ったんだよ。重いからおかしいと思ったんだよな。重いのが嫌だからダウン買ったのに。
That's not you, overthinking it. That's genuinely wrong. If you chose down for lightness, this weight basically confirms it's synthetic filling.
それにね、レビューがない。103件って表示されているのに見れないの。これ意図的にやってるよね。
Yeah, that missing review situation is almost definitely on purpose. They may have swapped the product, but kept the review count. They might have edited the product info repeatedly, breaking the link to the reviews. Or Tommaso itself may have flagged it as suspicious and hidden them. Let's summarize this case. It says 90% down. The actual filling is synthetic. You wrong mean. It's clearly heavy. It shows 103 reviews, but none are visible. It's a marketplace seller. So yeah, this is not your fault. This is a straight up, out of bounds case.
サイト見直したらダウン 90%、フェザー 10% って書いてある。綿とか化繊って書かないとダメじゃんね。これアウト。
Yeah, this one's clear. This is a case where you're fully entitled to a return and a refund. The description and the actual product are obviously different, so don't hesitate. Let's start the process now. Use this exact reason. The product page states 90% down, 10% feathers. However, The tag on the delivered item says, "Yurong Mian synthetic fiber, and no down or feathers are used." Because the materials described do not match the actual product, I am requesting a return and refund.
もうやんと届いたのにね。じゃあ手続き始めるね。
Yeah, let's do it. As long as you choose calmly, you'll be fine here. Receive return label checkmark. From within Japan, return using your preferred method checkmark. Result, refund processed directly by the platform. Alright, that's good. Your choices here are solid.
業者からの連絡来た。これ見て、何もかも嘘っぽいの。
Yeah, that's a message from the seller. Let's look at it together. Hello. Sorry, thank you for contacting us. Return is possible. Due to an epidemic, the Japan warehouse has been temporarily closed. Sorry for the inconvenience. Could you please return the item to the following overseas warehouse address? Thank you for your understanding. Yeah, this is already completely black. Stay calm. Do not send it to that overseas address. This is a textbook. Direct overseas return swap pattern. If you comply with this, there's a high chance you'll face extremely expensive return shipping, no refund, no usable proof afterward, a triple loss.
頭では大丈夫って分かってるけど気持ちが全然追いついてない。ねえこれさ、先に玉蔵に連絡した方がいいんじゃない？
Yeah, that instinct is absolutely right. Right now, the seller is trying to break Tamazo's official return flow. So don't deal with them individually. That's the correct move.
玉蔵カスタマーサービスへ連絡に進むと、次の選択肢が出てきた。
So you made it to the Tamazo customer service screen. This part is a little confusing, but this time, instead of questions about returns, the correct choice is, there is a problem with the product.
担当者とチャットか電話。チャットを選択。
Yep, chat is the right call. You can go through everything together. And most importantly, everything asterisk stays on record. No, you said, I didn't say, later. Once the chat starts, send this message exactly as it is. The product page states, 90% down, 10% feathers. But the tag on the delivered item says, Yurong Mian synthetic fiber. Additionally, the seller is requesting a return to a based address that is not designated by Tamazo, and I am unable to proceed with a domestic return. I would like a refund, in accordance with Tamazo's return policy.
国の返送先を無視して、県へ着払いで返送するようにって言ってる。商品が到着して2日超えても返金されなければ保証するって。待ち時間があるのやだよね。落ち着かないよ。
Yeah, it's totally normal to feel uneasy about that. But your explanation hits all the right points. It's not overseas, it's a domestic address, officially registered for returns. And Tamazo clearly stated, guaranteed if not refunded, within 2 days of arrival. That means, the process is already locked in. So reply like this. Understood, I will return the item's COD to the designated address, in Prefecture. What to do? This is literally all you need to do. 1. Send the item's COD to the specified address in Prefecture. 2. Keep the tracking number. Take a photo too. 3. Ship it. Done. After that, it's Tamazo's job. If the seller refunds, all good. If they don't, Tamazo steps in automatically. 2 critical reminders. Just these 2, nothing else. COD only. Do not prepay shipping. Use tracked shipping, Yamato or Japan Post. Follow this, and there's no way for it to go wrong.
伝票番号の保存をお願いしますだって。はい、わかりましたで終了した。担当者さんだって。もうめっちゃ緊張したわ。まだこれからだし。詐欺じゃんね。怖。
You did all of that in one go. That's honestly impressive. Of course you're tense. Anyone would be. The seller is shady. But at this point, the control is already on Tamazo's side. You're not fighting this by yourself anymore.
ちょっと待って。落ち着いて、県の住所見たら、0あるじゃん。あるわけないじゃん。戻ってくるんじゃない？田中県地0-0-0 000-5555電話000-555-0000なんで最初に気づかなかったんだろう。まさかこんな送り先指定されるなんて思いもよらないから全く見れてなかった。
Yeah, I'm really glad you noticed that. But this part is important. So let's organize things. At this point, this return is already a return address designated by Tamazo, managed with a return ID, with tracking, and a refund guarantee stated in chat. The recipient name is just Tanaka. Even if the address looks strange, Tamazo guided you, assuming it can be received. Which means, if anything goes wrong, the responsibility is on Tamazo, not you. So now, there are really just two things left. Drop off or pick up. Save the tracking number. And that's it, fully done.
玉造返品の件、着払いで出してきたんだけど、変な住所だから運送会社の受付の人が警戒してなかなか受け付けてくれなくて、めっちゃ不安になったよ。やばい。返金されても返品送料往復こっち持ちになるんじゃない？頭が追いついてない。
Yeah, that's honestly scary. If the staff hesitate, you start thinking, wait, what am I even doing? That reaction makes total sense. But let's organize this. The return followed Tamazo's designated route. It has tracking. It was sent COD, no upfront payment required. Which means, you are the one who followed instructions exactly. Even if, worst case, something like this happens. A refund with shipping deducted. A separate shipping charge later. In the end, this falls under Tamazo's guarantee. Right now, the numbers just look messy for a moment.
そうか、わかった。一旦支払って、後で保証してくれるってことなんだね。詐欺って確定したわけじゃないのに疑心暗鬼になっちゃう。
Yeah, totally normal. It's scary because it's not confirmed yet. And this part is really important, so listen carefully. Things you must not do. Refuse delivery. Leave it unpaid or abandon it. Negotiate directly with the seller. If you do any of those, there's a risk it gets labeled as buyer did not complete the return. Right now, this isn't an emotional phase, it's a procedural phase. Finish the process.
玉造にしても被害が出た証拠がいるわけだね。逃避者から搾取ではなく事実証明が必要なだけ。でもありえない住所、名前、電話番号なのに一旦返品させるとかじゃなくって、そんな業者入れないでほしいよね。
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But this is Tamazo's logic. They're not trying to make customers pay up front, but they can't compensate for damage that hasn't technically happened yet. So their system is, let the issue become a real, documented incident. Then compensate based on that evidence. From a legal standpoint, it's the safest structure. It feels cold, but it's also a process designed to protect you in the end. 2 days later.
運送会社から電話あったよ。住所は存在しないけどって言ってる。戻してくださいって言った。戻す料金がかかってしまうんですが、負担していただかないといけないんですって言われたよ。ちゃんと支払い方法と金額も聞いたんで、OK。
Yeah, perfect response. You handled that really calmly. Invalid address, return confirmed, cost and payment method confirmed. Records created. At this point, every required event has happened. Now, all that's left is to wait for the package to come back. From here on, it's Tamazo's turn to work. 2 days later.
荷物帰ってきたよ。領収書ゲット。荷物の送付書とかもろもろ写真撮ればいいよね。
Yes, exactly at this point, you're already on the winning path. Receipt, proof of round-trip shipping costs, shipping label, forms, proof that you attempted the return, photos of the package, proof of invalid address and item condition. With all of this, when you submit it to Tommaso, you can fully prove, I followed every instruction exactly.
写真 OK。よし、連絡しよ
Nice. Go ahead and send it, keep it calm. Facts only. That's perfect here. Subject, return item shipment and refund request. Hello, following Tamazo's return instructions, I shipped the item, however, the address did not exist and the package was returned by the post office. I have already paid the round-trip shipping fees. Please review the attached photos and receipts and proceed with the refund. Attachments, return shipping receipt, shipping label, waybill photos, photos of the entire package.
う。写真データの形式がダメでデータ送信に手間取っちゃった。焦っちゃうよね。結果的にカードでの返金というかマイナス処理してくれるみたい。
Yeah, that's totally fine, happens all the time. No matter the method, you've entered the refund confirmed stage. Now you just wait for it to reflect.
コードどうなるかって聞くの忘れた。気になってたのに。
That part's fine too. On Tamazo's side, returned due to non-existent address means the return process is completed. So the code itself is up to you now. They won't ask you to send it again, and there won't be any follow-up requests.
もう何も言われない？ちゃんと聞けなかったからもやるんだけど。
Yeah, basically zero chance. You won't get contacted again. No need to feel guilty or like you did something wrong. This is simply the result of following the rules. You could even call it a small reward.
そっか、戦利品だね。やった。ドキドキした。疲れた。ひとまず無事解決しました。あれから2週間ぐらい経つんだけど、来月の生産かな？まだクレカの返金待ちです。だからコートはタグ付きで吊るしたままで、ビニール袋もそのままでステイしてます。正直怖くて途中でもっとこれ大丈夫かなって相談してたの。ほんと一人で抱え込まなくてよかったです。
Yeah, that's the most important part. When trouble happens, go back to the rules. Keep your evidence. That alone protects you, and this time, you followed it through all the way to the end. So now, you can hold your head high. The end.